What makes New Mexico Grown so unique is that we've remained true to our values. We center relationships, we prioritize innovation, and ultimately we strive to make sure that the program is inclusive and meets the need of all of our diverse communities across the state. Hi, I'm Elena Paisano. I'm an enrolled citizen of the San Carlos Apache Nation in Southeast Arizona. I'm Little Sun and Water Clan at Laguna Pueblo. I am the Approved Supplier Program Director with the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. Farm-to-institution programs traditionally focus on fresh food access from local producers, and that's where they stop. The New Mexico Grown program actually goes deeper. We strive to also reconnect folks to their roots of farming, to traditional foodways, and to reinvigorate the sense of community ownership around food and food systems. So yes, it's a farm-to-institution program providing funding for buyers to purchase increased amounts of local food from farmers, but really it's about changing lives. It's about transforming systems and stewarding our land and resources into the future. We prioritize relationships through everything that we do. Our Approved Supplier Program meets the needs of small and mid-sized producers. It was designed for them. So whereas other states of the nation rely on third-party certification programs such as Good Agricultural Practices or GAP and run things through their departments of agriculture with large-scale farms, we actually work with the smallest farmers from all across the state.
Yeah, so the state of New Mexico I feel like is really unique with the Approved Supplier Program. A lot of states require even the smallest farmers to go all the way through the USDA GAP certification, which is really difficult and expensive to go through. And so this program allows you to receive that training for free, and they'll help you. They'll assign community cultivators or their own staff to help you complete the paperwork, and then also come out and do inspection. It's really not like a intimidating process. They really want you to succeed, and they're there with you every step of the way.
Most of the approved suppliers that we work with are producing on less than 5 acres. They're utilizing and sometimes revitalizing traditional production techniques such as dry farming, waffle gardening, acequia production, and many more. The New Mexico Grown program started over a decade ago, and it really started with community organizing efforts all around the state, particularly in the areas that we had lots of producers attending farmers markets, having leftover product, and looking for a home for that product. So early on, it was operating in about a dozen schools with maybe a dozen farmers. It was a pretty scrappy program, which was really fun to see. We literally traveled around the state asking people to try something new, and they did. Then within a couple of years, the state invested in the program, and so I think that was in 2014. The state invested $250,000 in a farm-to-school program. So that was pre-New Mexico Grown. In 2017, the Approved Supplier Program was born. And that's very unique. We're the only state in the nation that has a program like that, where we've actually codified into policy the term approved supplier. And for us, what that means is farmers, ranchers, and food producers working through our food quality management program, the Approved Supplier Program. And then as we expanded, after that, the funding kept growing. So year after year, we would see a couple $100,000 more, and it was always a challenge, like, are they gonna be able to buy that much produce? Can we spend all of it? And early on, we spent it down to the penny. There was no challenge in that, and the buyers rose to this new challenge of using local food, using products they'd never worked with, and the growers saw the value in investing time and energy into continuing training with us under the Approved Supplier Program. We're really proud to be able to offer the technical assistance we provide through the Approved Supplier Program free of charge to all of our producers. We see this as a vital role of the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association in supporting the livelihood of producers and new opportunities for market expansion. The Approved Supplier Program is aligned with current food safety regulations at the federal level as well as market regulations. And we're really proud of that because it provides an opportunity for growers participating with ASB to be able to access new markets such as retail or other institutions. We save them thousands of dollars a year by not having to do third-party certifications, and most importantly, they get to work with folks they know to improve their farm and meet the goals that they have to work with schools, senior centers, and preschools. Relationships are at the center of everything that we do. The way that we work in the New Mexico Grown Coalition is based on relationship and movement building. The way that our farmers connect to buyers is through building direct purchasing relationships. Some of them work through food hubs that are embedded in community and represent those farmers and the values of that community well, but many are doing transactions one-on-one with a buyer from a large institution.
One of the benefits of working within the NM Grown program is that it has an approved supplier list. And working with farmers that are on that list We know that they are practicing food safe policies. And so at the end of the day, when we are picking up and delivering to schools and senior centers, our most vulnerable population, we know that food's going to be safe for them to eat and enjoy.
The New Mexico Grown program today looks really different than it did years ago, but it retains the same values and character. So today we have over 200 suppliers in the program representing farmers, ranchers, food producers, and soon to be value-added food producers that have been selling to our markets, and new businesses that are looking forward to working with institutions. The New Mexico Grown program and market represents over $5 million of market opportunity for local producers. That's split across 4 administering agencies. So essentially, any meal program that's served to the public in the state of New Mexico can access New Mexico Grown. That's an amazing feat. We're actually working across 4 separate agencies: the Public Education Department, Early Childhood Education and Care Department, Aging and Long-Term Services in partnership with Office of Indian Elder Affairs, and the Department of Health through their Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. That means that we're serving through the New Mexico Grown Grant Program our first eaters, so first foods for little babies and daycare programs, all the way up to our elders and sometimes final foods in those programs, nourishing their souls. And the behind the scenes work to make that happen has been coordinating over 4 agencies to come together around standard requirements for farmers. So if I'm a farmer and I want to sell to the school in my community and also my senior center, I can fill out the same paperwork, I can go through the same program, and all I have to do is build relationships with those individuals. It's really an opportunity to build community food sovereignty across New Mexico, and as such, we've seen the program expand into over 28 of our 33 counties. New Mexico is a highly rural state. Our food production areas are really centralized, so sometimes buyers are in counties that are hundreds of miles away from a production region. Increasing access to fresh, nutritious, and culturally relevant foods has been a goal of the New Mexico Grown program, and one of the reasons why the institutions have really championed it at the state legislature. We've seen that kids know the difference between local food. They ask for local food, they eat it better, there's less plate waste, and meal program participation rates increase. We learned that working with the Public Education Department and then transferred that knowledge, those wins, over to other agencies, and we've seen that play out time and time again. In fact, in the senior programs, we've seen the most growth and expansion in that space because our elders love the opportunity to reconnect to what they know, the foods they know, the agricultural heritage that they value, and see their children, their grandchildren, and community members valuing that as well through the New Mexico Grown program. Ongoing support of New Mexico Grown and the Approved Supplier Program ensures that we can continue to support producers to improve their livelihoods and increase access to fresh, local, and nourishing food for communities all across the state.